Hello, people. How's it going? Adjusting this thing again. I'm always adjusting. I'm never happy with it. Anyway, I'm making a video because I haven't made one in over a week, and I'm really am kidding. But anyway, I have been without a bike since Saturday. My last bike, may it rest in peace, decided to die. It fell apart. It died a little before Rice Street, a little before Cub on Rice Street. It's probably still sitting there, which is where I left it, because the back axle, whatever you want to call it, decided to break and is no longer functioning as a bike, which is, I wonder really how many bikes have I had in the 40 odd years that I have ridden nothing but a bike. I've never driven a car. I don't own one, never owned one, don't want to own one because I've seen the way some of you people drive, and that's even without using a cell phone constantly. Hang up and drive, people. But anyway, I have never driven a car. I have, well, not legally. It's a long story. When I used to live in Florida and I was going to move up here, people kept asking me, how are you going to survive? How are you going to get through the winters on a bike? And I kept saying, the same way I get in the winters in Florida, I get on the bike and I pedal. It's not that difficult to pedal a bike in the wintertime, people. It's really not. You have to go a little slower, maybe, and you have to judge the road conditions a little better, but I don't have a problem with riding a bike in the wintertime any more than I have a riding in the summertime. In fact, I kind of prefer riding a bike during the winter than the summer. Well, winter and fall. I like winter and fall. But this bike died. There were signs. There were signs that it was on its last wheel, rolling of the wheel. But I would love to know how many bikes I've gone through. It's got to be at least over 100. I end up always having to get a new bike almost every 2 years, sometimes rarely 3 years, but almost every 2 years, I've had to get a bike. Now, I like bikes. I still haven't gotten a new one yet, or a used one yet, but I will eventually. So I mostly need it right now to go to work. I'm taking the bus lately. But I have ridden through all kinds of weather. I've ridden in 20 below zero weather, people. The cold doesn't really bother me much, per se, as much as the heat does. The heat actually is worse on a bike riding and than the cold is. To me, I find it easier to ride in the cold than it is the heat. But I've been doing this. I've been living here since 90. I got here in 92 with a few side trips to other places, but mostly I've been here since 92 in Minnesota. And I have ridden the bike my whole life. Oh, excuse me. I've ridden many, many miles on that bike. When I was living in Las Vegas and I was pedaling to my job at the animal hospital, which was about almost a 2-hour ride on a bike, it was pretty far, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere around there. But it was a long ride. It was a long drive. And I did it for a year in 100 and something degree heat in July. I like riding a bike. I don't really like cars. I get claustrophobic if I'm in there too long. That's why I don't like to fly. Because if I'm flying, I'm in a plane for over 3 hours. Yeah, you need to get me off this plane. Just because I don't like being closed too long, and I don't like having to sit still very long. As you all people know, I don't like sitting still very long. Mainly because I can't. I think. But I've been riding a bike in all sorts of weather, all sorts of cold. I mean, I actually like riding in the winter and fall, as I said. I prefer it. I mean, yeah, the road conditions are a little more hazardous and a little more, the snow is not exactly always fun to ride in, particularly if it's thick. But I've had flat tires, bikes break, bikes stolen, handlebars break, back wheels break, tires explode. You name it. My bikes have gone through it. I would love to know how many I've had, though. That would be an interesting number. Or how many miles I have pedaled in the 40 odd years that I've been riding a bike. At least 41, because In Okinawa, I believe, is when I've noticed that I rode a bike a lot. When I was living in California the last time, I remember walking around a lot and not really riding a bike. I had one, but I liked the bike. But this one died. This one, I was going to a birthday party to a friend of mine's, Eddie and Verena's. I was going to her 40th birthday. I was just coming up to Cub on Rice Street when the back wheel decided to let's brake and no longer be attached to the bike in any usable manner, shape, or form. So I left it where it was because it was useless to me. I took the bus. I did some walking, took the bus, did some more walking, and took the bus. That was fun. I don't want to buy any of those big tire bikes because they look like a lot of work to get moving. They really do see like a laborious bike, those big fat tire things. I'm sorry. And you people with motors on your bikes, you're defeating the purpose of riding a bike. I've had a motorcycle. Oh, not a motorcycle. I've ridden scooters and I've had mopeds. But that was Florida. Sorry, I'm moving. So shoot me. But, I thought about making a video and trying to remember all the stuff I've done on a bike. Places I've gone. Distances I've gone. The weather conditions I've gone. I've only been hit by a car once. I was rear-ended by a 17-year-old girl not watching where she was going while it was sprinkling outside. That was in Orlando. I've had all kinds of bikes. I just like riding a bike. I've never had a desire to drive a car. I mean, you would think living in Minnesota where it's below zero during the wintertime. It hasn't been below zero very much lately, though. But below zero actually isn't bad. I mean, I know the old joke is not the air temperature, it's the wind chill, and it is. The wind chill is very cold. But it's not like I'm, riding a bike with a Speedo. I wouldn't be riding a Speedo anyway, because I like clothes. Sorry, people, I like clothes. But the coldest was 30 below zero. That was when I was working in Woodbury at Red Roof Inn. I think it's still Red Roof Inn. But yeah, I got there and all you could see is my face covered in snow and ice. You could only see is my eyeballs. But the entire cover face thing was just packed with snow and ice. Yeah, I wish I'd had a picture of it. It was funny. I've ridden in ice storms. I like riding a bike. I find it far more exercise. To me, there's less traffic I got to deal with. People are always telling me I should get a car, get a bike, get a car, get a motorcycle, get this, that. No, I've seen the way some of you people drive. No, not going to happen. Now, granted, the bus is a useful tool, and it is for work a lot. Luckily, I didn't have to work this Sunday. I would have had to have walked for an hour and a half to get to work. Which I've done before. I have had to walk to work. When I used to work midnight shift, I'd have to walk an hour and a half at night in the dark. You're afraid. I mean, it's good exercise. Nobody really bothers me. I mean, every once in a while. But on rare occasions that ever happens. But I like not having to wait around for a bus. I like the sense of movement, of freedom of doing that. I don't have to pay insurance on anything. I don't have to pay for gas or maintenance, which I admit I am not good at bike maintenance, which is part of the problem with me and the bikes. Probably if I would have better maintained the silly things, they might last a year longer, maybe two. But as I treat my body, I treat my bikes. Just keep moving. You'll be fine. I've outlived all my machines. But I've had to push many bikes, many distances because of flat tires. I hate flat tires. Who doesn't hate a flat tire? I I mean, the most flat tires I ever had in 1 week was 6. That was in Las Vegas. For some reason, for this 1 week, I kept getting a flat tire a day. 2 on one day. But it was 6 flat tires in a week. And I was like, okay, something's up. I wasn't using a mountain bike, though. I was using one of those racer bikes, or whatever it's called. 10 speed or whatever those skinny things are. I don't mind that it takes a little longer. I've discovered if I know how far something is and how far it takes to go by car, multiply it by 3, and that's how long it takes by bike. I think someone's home. Nope. Thought I heard a car pull up. I had the windows closed, or I would have seen them. But I will not ride those things with the big wheels, because they do look like a lot of effort and a lot of work. And most of the people I've seen with them are pushing them. And the tires are not flat. They're pushing them uphill. It must be a chore to go uphill, it seems, because I'm passing them on my little mountain bike. And I'm thinking, okay, get a real bike. You might not have that problem. But, I lost another bike this last Saturday. A moment of silence. Yeah. But yeah, it was a little annoying, a little frustrating, but I got to the party just fine. Unfortunately, I had to leave earlier than I had planned because I wasn't sure of what buses I'd have to take to get home. But I got home, as you can tell. As you can see, I do have books to do. Not very many. I really haven't had the chance to go do any books. Not lately, anyway. But a few. I might do that tomorrow, maybe Saturday. But and I've been working on my short story of my dystopia, of American dystopia, and I hate it. I don't like this story. I'm not sure whether it's the story itself or the plot or the whatever it is. I'm almost done. I should have it posted by tomorrow, but it's just some stories just do not work, and they just don't come out right, and they fight me like a bike on some days. Oh, I've had bikes that literally I think they're trying to kill me. And why do brakes always go out first on bikes? I think every single bike I've ever had, within a few weeks, the brakes stop functioning properly. It's weird. It's the Cujo of bikes that just go out of whack, or the Westworld of bikes, I should say. But yeah, I don't dislike this story. The short story I'm writing, which I will post tomorrow, it's just it's frustrating because to me it's crap. There's just something wrong with it, or something maybe too right about it. I don't know. Maybe what it's actually saying is depressing. I don't know. I'm gonna post it tomorrow. Let the readers decide. Let Natalie decide. Because she'll read it. I think. She hasn't read the last 2 that I posted. She's behind. But that's okay. I have faith in you. Hurry up. I'm still trying to start up a new Noslin story. If people are wondering where Noslin, Minnesota is, look it up. If you find it, let me know. Because you're not going to find it. It's somewhere between the Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, Outer Limits, and probably Supernatural. So somewhere within that ballpark, you'll find Noslin, Minnesota. If you know where those places are, you'll know where Noslin is. Yes. I seem to write better horror ghost stories than I do any normal story. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I'm not Stephen King. I like Stephen King. I like his short stories. His novels, I like The Shining. But the bike, I should write a story about a bike that comes back from the dead. I swear there's somebody coming home. It's probably just me. When you live in a mobile home park, every sound sounds like it's right there in your patio. That's all right. I've been here for almost 4 years. It's been a long time. But yes, today we are mourning the loss of a bike this week. One of many that have gone on to that bike Valhalla, Gehenna, probably Gehenna. That's where most bikes belong anyway. I give up on me. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a unproductive week on some things, productive week on other things. But anyway, I was gonna talk a little bit more about the bike, but maybe I'll do it in the next video too. But I yes, Penny. Penny's here. Penny's visiting. Hi, Penny. Come here, Puppus. Come here. Oh, you're my Puppus. Come here. Come here. Come here. Turn around. Turn around, Penny. Come here. Come here. Come here, my poopius. There's my Penny. There's my Penny. There's my Poopus. Who has no idea. I'm such a good girl. Yes. You're going to be the special guest star. She has no idea what's going on. What are you looking for? Smell all the food I dropped on the floor? Yeah, well, look, there you are. Yeah, I love you too. Yes, I do. My good girl. Hurry. There's my guest star. Ah, my Puppus. Penny, we're not going anywhere. She wants to go outside. Well, maybe I should just take her on one last walk. All right, I'm going to end this video. Behave yourselves, people, because you know I'm not going to, nor am I capable of doing so. And maybe the next video will be either longer or shorter or somewhere in the middle. But see you later, people. See you later.